welcome to New Shoe Review. I have a new pickup today that I wanted to share. It is actually in a beautifully tattered box. It got shipped in the mail and slightly abused, but that doesn't matter because the shoes inside are all that count, and I'm not keeping the box. This isn't a pair for resale. This isn't something that I'm going to be doing anything else with except putting them on my feet. So I will go ahead and switch to the other camera here and show you what we got. It's a Nike box, and this is actually the Nike Streetgato, and it's actually in a size 11.5, which is actually typically a little big for me. I would usually be a 10.5 or 11, but I saw a recommendation to go a half size up. It's interesting on the Streetgato, which I guess is kind of like a street soccer shoe. They recommend everybody go up to a half size up. But this is something that you will probably learn throughout the channel, that I am actually constantly deal shopping, and not to mention, I don't want my shoes to fit tight or too tight. So I actually went up another half a size, and I got an 11.5. But they were on an amazing sale. I think it was like $59, and there was like another coupon code or something that took it down yet another 10, and then it also went down from there as well. So anyway, these were a great pickup from a store online. Anyway, and you'll see that yes, I got these in what was considered oh gosh, I have to reference the color name here, Guava Ice. So this is the Guava Ice colorway, and this is it's a pretty, good looking shoe. It's definitely pretty nice. It's suede construction. There's definitely some synthetic materials on there too. I like the icy pattern sole. That is pretty neat as well. But overall, that Guava Ice colorway was something that I think was like kind of popular. Yeah, and I'm actually wearing a pink shirt to match. But this was actually, I think, pretty popular. I guess a few years ago. I feel like that's when it actually really started to get some prominence. So I haven't seen this colorway in a little bit, and it was cool to see it back on this soccer shoe. And I know that everybody's been on a kick of like gazelles and other sorts of Adidas soccer oriented football, if you will, shoes, but this was an interesting sort of Nike make. I know that they have their whole line of Tiempos and Gatos and all of that sort of stuff, and I will say that I'm not very proficient in those kind of shoes, but I definitely know that that these struck me. They look like they were relatively simple, minimal, very clean, and I thought it was going to be a pretty good pickup, especially at the price point. So yeah, overall, this looks like a pretty straightforward shoe here. I will say, yeah, the suede on it doesn't feel, insanely nice or anything, but it definitely feels well constructed. There's a non-marking sole on it. There's also a plasticky kind of swoosh that's over here, and that, feels to be of fine quality. Nothing incredibly nice. I think the retail price on these shoes are something like $90, so it's not like it's anything high end, but it's definitely a decent shoe, especially for the price point. So we'll get a little bit of a shot of it on feet, and then we'll go from there. But I'll pull out the other shoe just for reference. I did open these up the other day. The only other thing to note about the packaging on this, which was kind of interesting, is that right here on these sort of extra little things that are up here, there was actually cardboard covering it, so that I guess it kept it in good shape. That was very interesting. It was the first time I had seen that on a shoe, and especially because it was a pretty low price point shoe. There was no frills to really the packaging at all, but it had that protector that was over there. So anyway, this is a good looking shoe, certainly for the price point. Do some, and I'll have some other tips on the channel about how you can pick up things for great price points. Don't pay retail if you don't have to, especially if it's not like a high target, high value shoe. There's also even occasions where you can find under retail on GOAT or StockX, and it really depends on what you're going for. And I will say that I'm not always looking for something that's super hot at the moment. I feel like there's lots of great shoes out there, and there's lots of great shoes at great price points and stuff that's unique and cool and different, so you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Pick up something kind of different, and and it can still be a great looking shoe, and you don't have to pay a fortune too. So anyway, these are great. This is definitely a cool shoe. Looking forward to trying them on, putting them on feet. I'll show you that view in just a second here.